Welcome to Parents' Guide to Handling Aggressive Behaviors without making it worse. Most parents think aggressive behavior is the problem. But the truth is, aggressive behavior is the symptom. And if you respond to that symptom with force, with grabbing, restraining, or trying to control the child in the moment, it almost always makes things worse. Today, I'm going to walk you through the real research-backed way to de-escalate aggressive behavior in neurodivergent kids and teens, without shouting, without power struggle, without using hands-on techniques that escalate fear and panic in your neurodivergent child. Whatever your child is, autistic, ADHD, PDA, anxious, or a mix, you will learn exactly what helps and what turns the fire into explosion. Hi, I'm Isabella Doyle, neurodivergent family coach, and I help overwhelmed parents of explosive kids with those big, unpredictable feelings, bring calm back to their home. If that's you, make sure you subscribe because I drop videos like this almost every day. And I want to say this right at the beginning. If your child is hitting, kicking, screaming, throwing things, or lashing out, it does not mean that they are choosing to be violent. In neurodivergent children, aggression is almost always a nervous system response, not a behavioral choice. It's a meltdown, a survival response, not misbehavior. And once you understand what's happening inside your child's brain, everything you do to support them becomes easier, calmer, and far more effective. Let's start perhaps with the most important point. Using physical restraint or force almost always escalates aggressive child. I know many parents and teachers do this with good intentions. We are trying to keep everyone safe. You are trying to stop the behavior, but research is clear. Physical restraint raises the child's stress and triggers the fight or flight survival response. Autistic children often describe restraint as a fight for life. Feeling trapped or grabbed makes the meltdown bigger, longer, and more dangerous. And here's the key. When a child feels unsafe, even if they aren't in real danger, their brain reacts as if their life is at risk. So if you get hands-on, block them, grab them, or try to control their body, their nervous system goes, danger, fight harder. This is why restraint and force should always be the very last resort, only when immediate safety is at risk. Good news, you don't need to use physical interventions. There are safer, more effective nervous system calming strategies that work far better, and we are going to explore them in this video. To know how to de-escalate aggression, you need to understand what's happening inside your child in those moments. During a meltdown, a neurodivergent child's brain has switched from thinking to surviving. Here what shuts down: the prefrontal cortex, logic, reasoning, problem solving. Here's what takes over: the amygdala, fear, fight, flight, panic. This means they cannot process the words. They cannot follow instructions, even the simple ones. They cannot think about consequences, and they cannot choose to just stop because you're telling them to. Meltdowns are not tantrum. A tantrum is goal-driven. A meltdown is involuntary. That's why talking, reasoning, lecturing, explaining, or demanding control does not work. Your child isn't being defiant. Their brain is overwhelmed. And the only way out is to help their nervous system return to safety. This brings us to the most important principle of de-escalation: connection before correction, regulation before reasoning, and safety before anything else. So how do you de-escalate aggressive behaviors? It starts with you. Your calm regulates theirs. You are the thermostat in the room, because when your child is aggressive, explosive, shouting, kicking, or completely losing control, your nervous system becomes the blueprint their nervous system follows. I always say, you are not the mirror, you are the thermostat. A mirror simply reflects what's happening. A thermostat sets the tone for the room. An aggressive behavior in neurodivergent children is almost always a nervous system event, not behavioral choice event. Their brain has flipped into fight, flight, or freeze. They are overwhelmed, drowning in adrenaline, and running purely on survival instincts. And here's the part most parents don't realize. Your child's nervous system is scanning you to decide if they are safe. If your face tightens, they feel danger. If your voice goes sharp, they feel spikes. If you shout, their brain says threat. If your breathing gets fast, they get faster. This isn't conscious, it's biology. And research back this up again and again. Children in meltdown borrow regulation from the adults near them. The more regulated you are, the safer their nervous system feels. The safer they feel, the faster the meltdown de-escalates. That's why your calm is not optional, it's the intervention itself. But of course, staying calm when you are being screamed at, it's hard. When a child hits, spits, throws, swears, your body reacts instantly. Your heart rate jumps, your jaw tightens, your own flight or fight starts pulsing. So your job is to become the anchor. Slow your breathing, drop your shoulders. Why this works? Because during aggression, your child's brain is not thinking logically. They are not processing your words, they are processing your signals, your posture, your tone, your breathing, your face, your energy. Your job in these moments is to stay in control, not to teach, not to fix, not to lecture. Your job is to be the adult whose presence says, you are safe. I'm not a threat. I'm here with you. We will go through this together. When you stay regulated, you give your child's overwhelmed brain something to anchor to. And that anchor, not consequences, not lecture, not restraint, is what actually de-escalates aggression. Because calm isn't reaction. Calm is strategy, and it starts with you. Next, reduce language. Talking can make it all worse. In the peak of meltdown or aggressive outbursts, your child's thinking brain is offline. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that handles reasoning, logic, instructions, and problem solving, has temporarily shut down. This means they literally cannot process what you are saying. And when we talk too much in that moment, even with good intentions, it often makes things worse. Why? Because language is cognitive load. Every word you say is something their overwhelmed brain has to interpret, decode, and respond to. And for a child already drowning in sensory overload, fear, frustration, or panic, this extra load can push them further into fight or flight. So during the peak of meltdown, avoid explaining. You know the rules. Lecturing. We talked about it so many times. Arguing. No, you cannot. I set the boundary. Asking questions. What's wrong? Demanding compliance. Calm down, stop it, look at me. Even neutral or helpful statements can accidentally escalate things because your child cannot take them in. Their brain hears noise. Noise equals overwhelm. Overwhelm equals bigger meltdown, bigger explosion. So what should you do instead? Think minimal, simple, low language presence. Short grounding phrases like, you are safe, I'm here, you won't get hurt, I'm staying right here with you. Or sometimes no words at all. Silence can be incredibly calming. It removes pressure, it removes demand, it communicates safety through presence instead of speech. Your body language, breathing, and tone will do far more to de escalate than anything you could explain verbally. When the storm is at its peak, silence is not avoidance, it's strategy. Because during a meltdown, your calm body speaks louder than your calm voice. Your presence reassures more than your words ever could. And connection comes before communication. Once your child is fully regulated, their thinking brain returns, that's when you can talk, reflect, and problem solve together. But in the moment, less language equals less overwhelm, equals faster de-escalation. You are going to reduce sensory input. Most aggressive meltdowns in neurodivergent children aren't about behavior at all. They are about sensory overload. Their nervous system is being hit with too much information at once. Noise, movement, visual clutter, bright light, people talking, siblings crying, and the brain cannot filter it anymore. So during an aggressive episode, one of the fastest ways to help your child calm is to turn down the sensory volume around them. This means reducing stimulation wherever possible. Turn off bright lights or dim them if you can. Lower noise levels, switch off TV, music, toys, alarms. Remove siblings gently from the area. Increase distance from crowds or busy spaces and guide the child to a quiet corner or quiet room when you can together regulate. Some children also respond well to closing curtain, blocking out visual clutter, noise cancelling headphones, a weighted blanket, dim, warm lights. Think of it this way. Your child's nervous system is already on fire. Your job is to remove as many sparks as you can. Every bit of sensory input you take away lowers their overwhelm. Every piece of calm you add helps the body shift out from fight or flight. You are not rewarding bad behavior. You are helping a dysregulated child escape a sensory storm so they can feel safe again. Now you start to see that the nervous system is coming back online, and you can slowly, gently validate what you see, not what you think they feel. Validation doesn't mean agreeing with the behavior. It means showing your child that you notice what's happening without judging. Instead of guessing their emotions, focus on describing the observable cues. I can see how overwhelmed your body looks right now. I can see your fists are clenched and your breathing is getting fast. I can see tears running down your face. I can see your whole body is working really hard. Why do we avoid naming emotions? Because many neurodivergent children struggle with interoception, the ability to understand what's happening inside their own body. What we see on the outside, shouting, clenching fists, might not match what they feel on the inside, fear, shame, sadness, or confusion. If we guess wrong, like, I can see how angry you are, when they actually feel sad or scared, it can increase the stress and make the meltdown bigger again. So stick to what you can observe, not interpret. What to avoid? Stop overreacting. You are being ridiculous. Calm down. There is no reason for that. Judgment, criticism, or emotional labels can intensify the meltdown by adding shame and pressure to their already overwhelmed brain. Validation, grounded in observation, helps the child feel seen, not misunderstood. In the moment, strategies help, but the real transformation happens before the meltdown when we are proactive at addressing behaviors. This is where collaborative and proactive solutions comes in. It teaches us kids do well if they can. If they don't, something is getting in their way. And that something is usually lagging skills like flexibility, frustration tolerance, problem solving, and problems our children have with our expectations, with transitions, tasks, activities, or getting along with other children. So we can identify the triggers, the root causes of the child's behavior before the behavior actually happens. It could be getting ready in the morning. It could be sharing telly with their siblings, or it could be simply coming to the dinner table for dinner. And when you know what those root causes of behaviors are, you can collaboratively solve them with your child through a calm problem-solving conversation. When your child can share their concerns, you share your concerns with them. And together you find the solutions that works for everybody. And through that problem-solving conversation, you teach your child how to regulate their emotions, how to solve problems, how to communicate without anger and frustrations, how to handle transitions, problems flexibly, not during meltdowns, but in calm moments. This is how the explosions reduce, eventually fade away. Finally, aggressive behavior isn't a sign of a naughty child. It's a sign of a child whose nervous system is overwhelmed and who needs support, not punishment. Your calm is powerful. Your understanding is healing. Your proactive planning is life-changing. If you want more help with navigating meltdowns, building these tasks, or learning more on how to solve problems with your child step by step, subscribe to this channel and watch the videos linked below.